Hello and welcome to my presentation. I would firstly like to introduce myself. My name is Faye and I am the event manager for weddings at Vila here in the Maldives. We have been given the honour of creating a beautiful wedding for Mira and Joseph here on the island, and I will be discussing the process throughout this presentation. Our venue is a place of pure seclusion, which will be great for Mira and Joseph for keeping this wedding as private as possible. This is important in celebrity weddings and will be considered throughout the process. I have analysed our objectives using Goldblatt's 5W series, which is an analysis method made up of different stages used to question the fundamentals of an event. It is important to firstly consider why we are creating this special event. As human beings, we love to mark certain occasions and celebrate, which creates special events. We are here to create a unique and unforgettable experience, not only for the bride and groom, but for all stakeholders involved. We are here to fulfil our roles and meet Mira and Joseph's needs, and hopefully exceed their expectations. Next is who our stakeholders are. I will discuss this further throughout the presentation, but our main focus is our client, alongside our other stakeholders. Where? The event will of course be held at our venue in the Maldives. When? The 1st of June 2024. This is due to needing maximum event planning time to create the best event possible. Another reasoning is within the Hindu religion, they consider some dates to be auspicious. This means the date holds good luck, therefore this day is best suited for Mira and Joe's wedding. It is also favourable for Hindu weddings to be held in good weather. With a lot of our event taking place outdoor, the weather here is perfect. And finally, what is our event? The event is a special event to celebrate the marriage of Mira and Joe on the beautiful island of the Maldives, while celebrating Mira's Hindu faith throughout the service. Although Joseph does not celebrate his Jewish heritage, upon request from his family we will integrate the religion throughout the event to show acknowledgement. I will now discuss a few of the plans we have for the event. In preparation for the event, which will be held the day before the wedding ceremony, the bride and her bridal party will have the Mendi. This is where Mira and her female friends and family will come together and have their henna done before the wedding day. Sumay is a henna artist based in the Maldives, who we have hired for the celebrations. This means that she is one of our stakeholders. Sumay will benefit from working for Mira's wedding, as we have an exclusive deal with another of our stakeholders, which is worldwide celebrity magazine OK. Once the photo emerged post-event, she can gain her own publicity from this. This therefore works as a form of marketing for Sumay and a great way for us to help small businesses. The morning of the ceremony. The bride and groom will be in separate villas at the resort, which is similar to many other traditional weddings all over the world. Although this may seem like a romantic tradition, this comes back from when arranged marriages were the norm, and it was usual for them to have never seen each other before the big day. The ceremony. Firstly is the Bharat. During this celebration, the groom will enter with upbeat music, and Joe will enter on a white horse. White horses appear lots within Hindu mythology and represent the sun. Another tradition that fits with both Jewish and Hindu faiths is circling around a fire 7 times. This will take place in the mandap, where majority of the ceremony will be held. Mira and Joe will read the praise to Ganesha, who is the god of beginnings, good fortune, and removal of obstacles. The event design of Hindu weddings is one of the most important factors. They are known for being big, bright, and beautiful. By designing perfectly, this gives a perfect opportunity to create an extraordinary experience for everyone involved. One of the main aspects is the mandap. The mandap is where most of the ceremony will take place, and this is therefore a key focus when planning this event. We will work alongside our dress designer to create a mandap that matches their beautiful clothing, which I will now discuss in the next slide. At Hindu weddings, it is typical to see a lot of red, as this represents happiness and good luck to the couple. We wanted to incorporate this tradition into the day and chose to contact Sabyasachi, who is a world-famous Indian fashion designer, to help us find the most eye-catching, unique clothing for both Mira and Joe on their special day. We will also have clippers available and encourage any of Joe's family who would like to wear these to do so. I will now be discussing the link to special and cultural events. Special events is a term that is used to describe events that are out of the ordinary. These kind of events are the type you don't attend often, and when you do, you'll remember them forever. Mira and Joseph's wedding is a very special and unique experience for every single party involved, and we will ensure this by working closely with all stakeholders involved and engaging consistently. Cultural events are used for the celebration of or confirmation of culture. Not all cultural events involve religion, but in our case we have the privilege of creating a day that celebrates Mira's Hinduism and shines a light upon the Jewish heritage. I will now be discussing stakeholders. When creating an event, a stakeholder analysis is essential to understand and meet all stakeholder needs, therefore improving chances of succeeding and producing a great event. In order to analyse and understand our stakeholders, using the stakeholder matrix, we can position each stakeholder in a ranking of importance. The most important are those whose needs must be met at all times throughout the process. For us, this includes our client, the bride and groom, the family of the bride and groom, the bridal party, ourselves, the venue planner, and security. These are the stakeholders that must be thoroughly managed throughout the whole process. They should be constantly in the know and able to voice opinions if they disagree with decisions or have any suggestions. Stakeholders such as security fit within this area due to Mira's popularity and the need for security for the wedding to be able to go ahead. It's also essential we are keeping this wedding as private as possible due to the deal with OK Magazine. Security is helpful for this, and so is the management of our stakeholders. The next is the key players. The key player include the guests, such as friends of the bride and groom, other celebrities, clothing designer, henna artist, and suppliers. These stakeholders are high priority and should be closely managed and kept satisfied in order to have the best event possible. We then have Keep Informed. These include chefs and caterers, wedding staff, musician, the magazine, religious leaders, and horse hire. These stakeholders must be regularly informed and with necessary updates but do not need as much involvement as others. And finally we have low priority. Although they are still stakeholders, the general public and fans of Mira, and potentially paparazzi, are stakeholders of the event, but will not need informing until post-event when wedding images arise. Every stakeholder involved in our event has expectations, and it is important for us to ensure we engage and manage these correctly to get full potential from our event. I will discuss in detail 3 examples of our many stakeholders. Firstly is ourselves. As the venue and event manager, it is our responsibility to monitor and communicate with each stakeholder in order to create the intended event. We are able to align our objectives to the other stakeholders involved. Our main objective is to meet the needs of our stakeholders, especially the highest ranked ones as discussed previously. We intend to have a close relationship with our client and an open mind at all times. Next is the magazine. OK Magazine have signed a huge deal with Mira and Joe for this wedding, meaning that legal documents will have been signed. Therefore, this stakeholder is a priority to us. For them, their objectives are to capture a unique and special event that will draw attention to their magazine. And finally, our most important stakeholder is Mira and Joe. Our bride and groom are the centre of our event, and any objective of theirs is instantly an objective of our own. It is important we can work close alongside each other and all of the other stakeholders. This is the main key to a successful event. I will now be analysing the impacts of special and cultural events of the wider event community. The COVID-19 pandemic took a massive toll on all of the industries, and the event industry hugely struggled with this. Not only did many weddings get postponed or cancelled, it meant many lost their jobs. With the guest restriction of 50, this therefore led to a decline value of the business by more than 90%. However, now on the other side of it, the industry is ready to get back booming again, and rates are gradually rising back up. Another is environmental issues. Weddings are a huge day that takes a lot of planning and often tend to create a lot of waste. The average wedding produces 400 pounds of garbage, 63 tons of CO2, with an estimated 2.5 million weddings per year. That is about 1 billion pounds of trash, and as many emissions as approximately 4 people would produce in a year, done in just one single day. However, many people are taking a stand to help prevent these issues. Some of these include choosing in-season or local foods. This will help to reduce emissions caused by transportations. Using local florists and preserving the flowers rather than throwing them straight after, and also using solar lights in their weddings rather than electronic. Thank you for listening.